guys, today's video is going to be so fun. We are taking someone who is a level 3 to a lighter color. Our all over goal is to be like a honey blonde eventually, but we are going to take it slow because we want her hair to stay healthy. So today we're just going to start with a light foiled balayage. I'm going to show you my technique for the first session going blonde. So if you are interested in watching this, stay tuned. Okay, so we are going to be using Mitchell's Synchro Lift today. I've been on this kick of trying new lighteners every time I go to the beauty supply, and this is the lightener of the week. I really like it. It has a good lift. It swells a little more than I would like, but it has been pretty good. And I'm going to be mixing that with 30 volume just because her hair is really dark and I want as much lift as possible, but I still want to keep the integrity of her hair intact. So I get asked this question all the time, and people always ask me, do you balayage hair? And the answer is honestly no. I don't balayage, I don't freehand paint, and I kind of feel like those looks are going out of style anyway. Not necessarily the looks, but maybe the technique. Because if you think about it, a lot of people want really blonde balayages, right? But you can't get the really blonde results just from doing freehand or open air painting. So I always do foil work, but I can get the look of a balayage with my foils. So I'm going to be doing what I call a teased baby light balayage. So I'm going to be doing teased sections and weaving those and then putting them into a foil. So you can watch my pattern here. I do 2 foils in the center and then 2 on each side of the head. And I just continue that pattern up the back of her head. And even though my client eventually wants to be blonde, I don't necessarily go in and do a full head of highlights or baby lights right off the bat. I do this technique because it evens out our canvas, it lets me see how she's going to lift, and it gives me an idea of where to go from there. So that's the reason I do this technique, is because it starts it out really subtle, really soft, but it also gives me a direction of where we're going to go for her next session. And if you have a hairdresser who's going to tell you that you can get platinum blonde, level 10 hair from this level 1, run the other direction, because the way to do it is slow and healthy. Me and her both know that this process could be 6 months to a year, and we're going to do it the right way so that she can keep her long, gorgeous hair, and that's the way it should be done. Everyone's hair lifts differently, so some people may get blonde quicker than others, but it's always important to take it slow and steady, because in the end it's going to be much better to have long, healthy hair that's the right color than the right color that's on the floor because it's damaged.
Can't run from what I feel inside. There's no more time to hide, because I feel again. I feel again. Oh, now I feel again. We're bringing this back to life. Help me find the right words to say to get us back on our way. Can we try to fight against the grain of throwing out what we made? The future's far away, but I will stay, because I feel again, I feel again. Oh, bringing this back to life. We're picking up where we left.
So I have just been continuing that same pattern up the back of the head, and we are getting a little closer to the top now, but it has basically just been 2 foils in the middle, 2 foils on the left, 2 foils on the right, and those left and right sides are on angles, which has been helpful because with the shape of the head, it's really hard just to do straight partings, and this is going to make it fall a little more naturally and make it look a little more sun-kissed. And then you guys can see right there that I always put my product on the foil and then I feather up backwards, and that's what gives me a really nice blend without any harsh lines. And I just have to shout out these Fremar foils. I literally couldn't do my job without them, especially with colors like this. They are a little sturdier, not as flimsy, and they give you a nice sturdy base to work on, and they're also very breathable and very movable. They're just amazing, comfortable for me and my clients, so I highly recommend them. I can't use anything else.
I recall the past again tonight. It's in the front of my mind as I fall.
Okay, now in the front, I sectioned off her hairline area, and then I do a few foils above the ear just to establish where we're going to start the highlights. And then I'm going to work around the hairline, and I call this the headband area. This is where we're going to bring it up a little higher, do it a little brighter.
Just far away, but I'll stay. I'll stay. Just take a leap of faith. We'll find a way for you and me. Can't look back and run from what I feel inside. There's no more time to hide because I feel again. I feel again. Oh, now I feel again. We're bringing this back to life. I feel it again. I feel it again. I feel again. We're bringing this back to life.
I switch it up for each client with the money piece, and sometimes I do 2 to 3 baby lights back to back, just heavily foiled so that it's a little stronger. Sometimes I'll do 1 or 2 slices. It honestly just depends on the hair. If they don't like a really strong money piece, I'll just do the baby lights, but if they want to see definition in the hairline, I will do a slice. And it also depends on the integrity and the health of their hair. If they have really fragile, broken pieces around their hairline, I'm not going to do slicing. But her hair's pretty long, so we were able to do 1 slice in the front, and then after that, I just continued with baby lights.
Help me find the right words to say to get us back on our way. Can we try to fight against the grain of throwing out what we made? The future's far away, but I will stay. I will stay because I feel again. I feel again. Oh, now I feel again. We're bringing this back to life. We're picking up where we left off and on again. We never quite could forget, 'cause what we got so intense. I feel it again. I feel it again. I feel again. We're bringing this back to life.
She is lifting pretty well. As you can see here, she's definitely holding on to those orangey red tones, but we do have a pretty even lift, so I'm happy about that. At the bowl, I decided to root smudge her with a 6N6T, and I feathered that through the mid-shaft because it was a little warmer, and then through her ends, I am using 7P, 7NB, 8V, and 8N, and this is going to give me a nice combination of neutrals and ash tones to give me a nice beigey blonde on the cooler side, just because her hair is so warm and I want to give her an ashier toner so that as it fades out, it's not going to be as warm as she naturally wants to be, because her hair is very dark and we're going to be getting those warm tones as she fades out. So we are just going to be doing this toner. I'm just spreading it all throughout her hair, and I left it on about 15 minutes.
I recall the past again tonight. It's in the front of my mind. As I fall apart, you begin to cry. The tears are making you blind. The future's far